Everyone, welcome to Kats Creations live on a Friday night, where tonight we're going to start restocking the shop. I had a pretty big order come in. Was it? I'm trying to think. Wasn't yesterday, it was the day before. I had a customer buy like 7 of my wreaths, so that pretty much depleted all my patriotic and beach inventory. So we are going to be making beach and patriotic, at least for the next week, just to backfill. So tonight, this one's going to be an everyday beach wreath. So this is perfect for people who are going to put it on their door for the summer, but it's also going to be a great design that if you have beach decor, beach cottage, beach house, you can leave it up year round. It's entirely up to you. It's going to be a combination of 2 different types of Deco mesh, which I'll pull out and show you. The sign is, let me give you the dimensions on the sign. It is a 6 by 12.5 sign. The Welcome to the Beach House came from Craft Outlet, so that's where you can pick that up. Couple housekeeping items. If you like this design and once you have all your materials, you want to have access to this tutorial pretty quickly, just click the share button. That'll go ahead and save this tutorial on your page, and it's so much easier to find. It's what I did when I was first starting off. All the designs I wanted to replicate, I would just save or share that, and it would go to my page. It's so much easier to find. If you're new, we'd like to welcome you, so let us know where you're from. You never know, you might just make a crafting connection here with a fellow crafter. Yep. Let's see. If you want to be notified when we go live, make sure you click the like and follow button. It requires both of those. Then once you've done that, you can click on the video by keeping your tablet or whatever device in a vertical position, because if you turn it in any other way, you won't see it. Tap the screen, you get 3 little buttons, 3 little dots to the upper right hand corner. Creates a sub menu, and from there you can turn live notifications on or off, which is great.
Same with captions.
Yeah, same for closed captioning, because a lot of people say that they didn't realize that closed captioning was an option you have. That definitely can help benefit you if it's easier for you to read the text than it is for you to like listen. YouTube subscribers, if you want to be notified when we drop a new video into our channel, make sure you subscribe by clicking the bell at the upper right hand corner. And that's pretty much it. That's all I have.
Yeah, probably since this is going to be Mother's Day weekend, we're probably going to be light on people joining. But welcome, happy Friday, everyone.
So, and that's another thing. So Sunday's lives, because it's Mother's Day, I'm taking Mother's Day off like all moms probably should. So no live on Sunday. We'll be picking back up again a week from this Friday. Okay. Let's go ahead and get this all wired up. I feel like I haven't done a wreath design in a very long time. So I've done the 5 out of the 6 sections for you. This is a 14-inch Dollar Tree wreath frame. You're gonna basically take your pipe cleaners, and then using the weld marks on your frame, you're gonna use, find a midway point. And you're gonna start with the 2 inner rings closest toward the center. And you're going to take your pipe cleaner and you're going to wire the 2 together. The reason why I have you do 2 and not 1 is it's really hard to create the stability. If no matter how tight you try to wind your pipe cleaner around one rail, it generally will just flop. So then you're going to take your pipe cleaners and you're going to go use this as your guide. This is your guide, and find a midway point. And this time you're going to wire together the outside too. And then we'll do the same on the other side right here. Give you a grand total of 18 pipe cleaners, 6 on the inside. These are the inner, and then 12 on the outside. And then now we're going to go ahead and add our Deco mesh, which, like I said, it's going to be a combination. We're going to be using the jute with the cream through the center, and these are cut to 20 inches. We're doing the ruffle because we have a fairly large sign and we're going to do a bow and a lot of embellishments on this. I want something that's more flat and wide, So the ruffle method makes that possible. So we're going to go ahead and do our ruffle. This has to be cut with a rotary cutter. It cannot be cut with a wood burning tool. And if you don't like the frays that will occasionally like come loose from the cut edges, once the entire design is done, you can spray the whole thing with an E6000 adhesive spray, focusing more on the Deco mesh ends. So like when I added this ruffle, I added the finished edge to the center, to the outside, so the cut edges are on the sides. But occasionally you'll develop frays. So you can spray the ends, like once you're finished, trim up the whole thing, spray your Deco mesh, like I said, focusing on the end pieces, and then you should have a little less fraying that occurs.
So thank you all. Happy Friday. Robin asked how was Disney. It was fun.
It was different going with the mask thing. So you had to wear a mask the whole time, even on the rides, which was weird. And you can only take it off when you were dining. So physically sitting down, you had your food in front of you, then you could take it off.
But all the wait times for the rides, for the most part, were very minimal.
Yeah, I think we waited, 10 or 15 minutes for most.
Yeah.
And then because Disneyland's only open to 25% capacity, it's very light crowds. So not a lot of people.
The temperature was very nice yesterday, or
I think it was
Thursday.
75.
Yeah, 75 degrees. It was great.
We had a really good, fortunate day. So it's first trip back to Disney in, God, probably 2 years. We used to go every year as a family. We'd go in the spring and in the fall. And then when COVID hit, that kind of changed everything.
Yeah. April, May is a great time to go to Disneyland out here in California.
Well, I like going in the fall.
Yeah.
I'm partial to the fall. So the seafoam green Deco mesh and the jute burlap, these both came from Craft Outlet. So I'm alternating the colors on the inside and alternating the colors on the outside as well. But it'll still look like there's a block of colors. And here we're going to our outside, kind of pushing these away. So again, back to the inside and outside. There we go. And then back to our green. So now we're back to the interior.
Sue agreed. She said, we've been doing that at Disney World and you get used to it. She said, I'm at least just glad we can go. And that's true.
That was us yesterday. There were so many things we missed. Stupid things like the way the Pirates of the Caribbean smells on the inside with the water, the chlorinated bromine water. It just has that smell. Churros, just the simple things. It was like a way for us to go back and look at the things that we used to take for advantage, you know, and all that changed. So it was a nice getaway for the family.
Robert said we went to Disney World a few years ago, but it was so hot in Florida. Yeah, right now it's hot and muggy.
Yeah. And it's crazy because not a lot of stuff is open. Meaning, like, if you were used to popcorn or cotton candy or ice cream machines around, they were, like, spread out very far and few in between. So those were hard. Even the restaurants, none of Disney's restaurants that had interior dining were open. Everything was closed. Yeah. Which was weird. So.
Well, though we ate inside the Plaza Inn, but it was mainly their outside that was open.
Yeah, it's outside. But you could only order one thing. You had to order the chicken lunch. That was it. You couldn't, like, there was no real restaurant. Again, grateful for small things. So we're just happy to be there.
Yep.
Okay, the other downside was walking. They don't offer tram service. So if you check in at Disneyland, you know, like how you'd park in the parking garage and take the tram to the front entrance. No tram anymore. That's where they have the temperature checks and the security bag checks. And it's a long walk.
Yeah.
A very long walk to go from one end to the other. And then you know that you have that walk to endure at the end of the day when everyone's tired. So, small things.
Small things.
Right?
But it's slowly getting better.
Yeah, that's what I was saying is I think we are scheduled to go one more time this year. And then I was telling Steve, I don't think I'll go back until the mask mandate ends. It's just not enjoyable. But I understand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's there's like certain criteria. It's like, okay, we understand why we're wearing the mask, but people are getting on and off rides and they're not sanitizing between people getting on and off. So help me understand all this.
Now this is Washington State is in phase 3.
Okay.
People are still petitioning to open up the state. Who knows? I think for the most part for most of the counties here we're in phase 2 now, which is
yeah. In Orange County,
most of the restaurants and
Orange County is where Disney is,
yeah.
and they should have been at a higher capacity. I mean, we have indoor dining during all the other ones, but
it's great. There's really not that many crowds at all.
yeah. So there's pros and cons.
Mm-hmm.
Leave that open. Okay. So I'm just readjusting some of my ruffles so that they just lay a little nicer. Okay. So we're back to green. Let's pull this. You can tell that we're down to the last part of the roll when you get that curl.
Oh, that's good, Terry. She said our mask mandate is supposed to be lifted on June 20th in West Virginia.
Is that
That's
like
still a month and a half away though.
But that's for everybody, right?
Yeah.
See, I don't think California will ever have that removed. That's my theory. Because we're always, wow. California sets a precedence for being the first in a lot of things, but I don't think we'll see it lifted. What I don't understand is why the outside restaurants can be open, but Disney's inside restaurants, they keep closed.
Right.
But I think it's because because they're only operating at 25% capacity, they're not bringing back all of their employees, so their meets the needs.
What was just funny is inside Disneyland, the double-decker bus was going, and so were a couple other small little trolleys or whatever, but yet the tram isn't.
I already explained why I thought the tram thing was closed. It's because that's where they're doing the medical checkpoint and the security screening, which is good.
They said they're going to Disneyland in June after a year delay. There are many changes. Yep.
Yeah, so those will be the things you have to deal with is, you can't not wear a mask and walk around and, enjoy your popcorn or your Coke or whatever. You have to be sitting down. You have to wear your mask, except if you're what they call it actively eating and drinking, and only in designated areas, which every park bench is a designated area.
Yeah, I wish more governors would follow suit of Ron DeSantis, which is the governor of Florida.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm liking the color of this one. It's very soft.
Rosanna, she said Texas opened up back to 100% back in March. I know.
Oh, it's so crazy.
We would love to be 100% open.
Yeah, well, California. People think people in California are crazy anyway. So that's not going to open for a very long time.
I did cut one extra piece of the green just in case.
Oh,
Just
so when I look and I'm like,
yeah.
why do I have extra green? Okay, that makes sense. Okay. Now the green you can cut with your wood burning tool, which definitely helps cut down on the frays. This green is a little bit more on the thinner side when it comes to the mesh, meaning it's a little light. I'm trying to get the ruffle to go under. And I've been removing the pipe cleaners from the inside just because with the sign, the bow, let's see, where are we at? That was inside. Let me flip this over.
Donna, no, it's not a pancake design. It's just a regular ruffle.
So I'm back to green. Yeah, the difference between pancake is it's similar, except pancake would not have 18. I believe they only have 12 pipe cleaners. So they're spread out a little bit more. And then I think if you were doing the pancake with this design, you would really want to go heavy on the green mesh because it is a lot more thin than as far as quality than the jute mesh is.
Well, good, Tara. We'll have to go back and look. She said, hello, glad you had a good time. I sent you a picture of the grapevine wreath you inspired me to make on Facebook.
Oh, thank you. I'm just double checking. I did. Okay, let me take this one out. So I was like looking at how these were paired and it's not coming out. So I did do the mint green here. So I'm going to use my bow dabber just to hold that until I get back over to that side. There we go. Us poor people in California, there's not much to do. When you pull all that down, if you don't want to wear a mask, there's really not much you can do.
Mm-hmm.
You have to wear them on the beach, except when in the water. In all the restaurants, except when you sit down to eat. I'm trying to think of what else. Okay. As I'm also doing this, when I'm adding them to the outside, I am taking my pipe cleaners and moving them to the outside so they're easier to find.
The 10-inch seafoam green is from Craft Outlet.
So that's
as well
the other
as
one.
The 10-inch beige and white, both from Craft Outlet.
Yeah. Okay. Now we're back
That's
to.
what Roxanne asked. And then said, how long would you cut your poly deco mesh if you're doing a 12-inch wire form wreath? Probably the same.
Yeah, I would still cut
12 inch
the
from 14
pieces.
is only.
You might just have less pipe cleaners on it.
Yeah.
Not by many. You might take it from a 16, maybe down, or an 18, maybe to a 16. I would just have to look at spacing on a 12-inch.
Mm-hmm.
I generally don't change it because when I did my 10-inch, the RV wreath,
Mm-hmm.
we just did less pipe cleaners, but the measurement on our mesh all stayed the same. We kept them all at 20 inches if we did ruffles, or 25 to 30 inches depending upon the quality of mesh if we did cruffles. I guess ideal speaking would be about a pipe cleaner every 3 to 4 inches maybe. It just depends on your form setup. I hate having a standard because it always changes. So if I said, oh, I wouldn't do like 14 pipe cleaners on a 12-inch frame, but you can get a 12-inch frame from one vendor and it's laid out way differently than a 12-inch form from another one. Okay, we're back to...
Roseanne, yeah, that is the seafoam green deco mesh from Craft Outlet. Tara said, I really like the pumpkin you did with the chunky yarn.
Oh.
It'll be on the lookout for the pumpkin forms. It's really hard to find that orange yarn now.
Yes, the
Almost
orange
next to
chunky
impossible.
yarn is very hard to find. Even, it's not like, when I did that, it wasn't even seasonal for that time of the year. It was actually leftover from summer, and that was from Walmart. And I have yet to this day to find that pumpkin orange.
Yeah.
You find it like similar, but not exact. Or it's thin, it's not chunky. Okay, the last one is going to be beige.
Robin says she's working on a patriotic RV wreath right now. Awesome.
That's nice. I've got to look through my patriotic bin. I've got to do a couple more Americanas, a couple more of the traditional.
That'd be so fun to have an RV.
I know. That's what you can do without wearing a mask. You can travel in your RV. Go camping, right?
Yep.
Let me move this. Last one. And then we're going to embellish the outside. Okay. So this is the color. It's weird because see how this seafoam green, because it is so thin, it doesn't, the coverage isn't like how it would be, like how it is for the beige. So I'm constantly like pulling the green up to put the green on top of the beige because it's so thin, so that we have a better base coverage.
Linda, the mesh is all cut to 20 inches. Roseanne's got a good question.
What's that?
May I ask why the green deco mesh instead of a blue when the sign looks blue?
It's actually a blue-green, and then when you put the blue next to it, you realize it's not as blue as you think. So we're just kind of trending into like a tropical island color.
Because they're both tertiary colors, the green blends and matches the best.
Yeah, this has a green base to it over a blue base. And that's what's weird about the camera is the camera might appear to make it look more blue than it is. So that's why I take my sign and physically will walk in the natural sunlight and look at it there. So I'm just, see what I'm doing is I'm taking, see how like this seems very limited on the coverage. So if I take my seafoam and let it lay on top of the adjoining beige, pull these down, then we're in a sense bringing more green back to what we're working on. So it looks kind of half and half, which is exactly what it should. Okay, so ribbon selection is we're doing 3 different colors. Oops. I feel like a sushi person, like those, what do you call them, the teppan, where they bring their stuff out from their cart. That's what I feel like. Okay, so we're actually doing a cream, and this is like a seafoam or mint cream. We're doing a 2.5 inch. This is Dupani ribbon. And then we're doing the basket weave. So we're going to be alternating these colors all the way around the outside. And these are all cut to 14-inch pieces. So you can pick on what color you want certain things to fall, but by adapting this to, I guess if I would have done just 2 colors, I could have taken this and laid it on the beige and then on the green, the basket weave, but I didn't want to do basket weave so much because it just, to me, it already feels beige heavy, so I didn't want to go beige heavy here. I wanted to break this up a little bit.
Kind of nice thing about beach colors is like it's clean whites and blues and greens, right? But the blues and greens kind of can be rustic. They can kind of look old, weathered,
vintage.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, back to our Dupani ribbon. So I'm always folding so I know where middle is. It just makes for a nice look if your bows can at least have the same lengths on the tails. So knowing where that midway point is really helps. This should go fairly quickly. Okay, go back to this. I love this stretchy. So ribbon, where'd it come from? You have it all there. I think the white and the cream came from the Wreath shop. The basket weave stretchy came from Joann's a couple years ago at Christmas. The Dupont is from Craft Outlet.
Is the wreath on the door a Christmas wreath? No, it is a red rooster wreath.
It's a red rooster bed and breakfast. Yeah. That is true. I will be starting Christmas. Who knows? Maybe that's what we'll do next week, Friday. Wouldn't that just be weird? Christmas. Christmas in May. That's what it feels like. But technically, as a wreath maker, you're thinking 3 months ahead. So for us, May, June, July, August. So we're kind of pushing into that fall. But there's a lot of people who buy Christmas in July.
Yep. Hi, gals, just joining. Hi, Debbie. Anne, Kelly, Karen, Linda.
Welcome. Sometimes we create what we feel. So this just was like, it's very soothing. It's very relaxing. So I'm going with the beach flare. Okay, Dupont. Open this. What are you guys doing for Mother's Day? Are you guys staying home? Are you going out? Oop, I just added this right to the same one. Meant to go to the next one. Going out to brunch? Are you having dinner at your house with family?
Robin said, I really love making the double bows. Thank you for teaching us.
Oh yeah. I love double bows too. I think if I would have done double bows on this one, it would have really occupied a lot of space on the outside. Because I've got to save room for seashells and starfish. So that we have a little bit of both. So we're going to kind of take a clue from the sign that has this spiny starfish. So that's what's going to be in our design.
Sue said, I love that open mesh tan ribbon, but it's hard to find. Where did you find it?
Well, I know that Craft Outlet and the Wreath shop sell it.
She said ribbon, open mesh.
This right here.
Yeah.
Craft Outlet and the Wreath shop sell it. And they have it in different colors now because I've bought it in the green, the lime green. So it's the exact same. You just have to get it in the natural. So try Craft Outlet or the Wreath shop. And I know a lot of places right now are really limited on their supplies because they're still waiting, you know, to restock everything that was ordered at the beginning of the year. Okay, so we're going to add in some.
What do you suggest I do with all the 20-inch mesh I bought on sale?
20-inch?
Start doing poofs.
21-inch.
Yeah.
Right?
21-inch, I think, yeah.
Yeah, so the 21-inch, I would suggest poofs, bubbles. You can do curl and weaves. Those would make really nice additions. So let me take the 1.5 inch. This is cut to 18-inch pieces. So we're going to do what's called a half bow. So you're going to go ahead and bring your tails together. You're going to go up to the top. 2 inches from here to the end is where we're going to kind of pinch it. And we're going to lay this inside and give it my final twist. And then we'll open it up, show you. So you open up the loop, you're gonna have to right side one of your tails. They're kind of like 3D awareness bows. So let me show you what it looks like. I'll spin this around. So this is the look you're trying to achieve. Since I have that one there, I'll just keep going this way. We're gonna take this blue with gold and kind of like a little blue glitter, and this is gonna go on that Dupani. And Dupani's like, it looks like satin, but it's very thick.
Roseanne and Linda asked, what is a curling weave? It's a very advanced
Yeah, so if you're in
Deco
my private
mesh
group,
technique.
we go over all of those methods. That's, yeah, like exactly what Steve's saying. It's an advanced form of what you can do with 21-inch Deco mesh. You basically are cutting them into strips and weaving them together throughout the whole design. And I just boxed up my last curl and weave. Otherwise, I'd show you what it looks like. It looks like a knotted design. Yeah. Is how it kind of comes off.
They almost look like chains because they're chained
Yeah.
together. Yeah.
Exactly.
Eileen, she cuts the inside twist ties.
Yeah, I can't use them because they're going to be sign and bow.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just doing these to the outside. So the white with the swirl print is Craft Outlet. The gold.
Roseanne asked, oh, is it the Jackie weave? Is that what they call the curl and weave? I don't think so. I think it's always been called the curl and weave.
Yeah, curl and weave's been there for a long time. I mean, this is going on my fourth. In September, will be my 4th year doing this as a business, and that was one of the more complicated designs. So you never know. There's people who will label it one thing. It's the same. I don't know if it is or not, though. Okay, and then this ribbon here came from Hobby Lobby a couple Christmases back. That's something that I'm always looking for throughout the year, is if I find ribbon, whatever season of the year it is, if it looks like something that would play well with Christmas or different seasons, I'll pick those up. Like a lot of these designs come during the holidays to go with the blue or gold. And I'm always thinking, that's beach wreath. You know, even if it's beach Christmas or just beach throughout the year. So this guy came from Hobby Lobby. Okay. Everybody's so quiet. This is like normally like my Sunday, where everyone's quiet. What questions do you guys have?
Yeah, it's kind of quiet today.
So if you're interested in joining my private group, it's $17 a month. You can do it on my website at KatsCreationsNMore.com. We go through all of those. So there's videos on every single one of those methods. So those are great. You know, we spend the first 3 classes talking about the basic 10-inch mesh. Then we go into what you can do as far as base methods for 21-inch. But you get access to all the tutorials, all the materials lists like this materials list, all the public and private lives get materials lists, so you get access to those. Discounts from all of our vendors. And then you get 4 design classes, which are every Sunday at 3 Pacific, except this Sunday. And Mondays at 5 are our business classes, which is everything from setting up Facebook business page, Etsy shop, how to use Pinterest, Instagram stories. And then that's going to be expanding even more into 2022.
Barbara, the sign came from Craft Outlet.
Okay, so now I've left open some vacancies here and here. So we're going to probably, as we're designing this, I'm going to probably have it this way so that I have space here and here to occupy for starfish or seashells or whatever. Now we're going to go ahead and start building our bow.
Oh, Jenny asked, did you get your box? Was that the box of the wreath forms?
Yes, I think we got that yesterday.
Yep. Thank you, Jenny.
Thursday. We were actually on our way to Disneyland, and it was like
Wednesday then.
Yeah, Wednesday. Sorry. We saw a delivery, and I was like, "Wait a minute, we didn't have a delivery from Amazon. We don't know what's coming," and so we drove back because I didn't want to leave it sit on our porch. And it turns out that they were frames. So yes, thank you very much for that. You got your box. Okay. These are going to be the ribbons we're putting in our bow. So we're going to be using the basket weave, our cream and tan, along with our Dupani. Then we're going to come in with the white with the swirl, this tan with the polka dots, and then we're going to finish it off with the Swiss dot. And I think, why is it? It's polka dots and polka dots. It's going to go either way, no matter which way I do it. So I usually lay out my ribbons this way so I can kind of see, you know, this is bottom, this is going to be what finishes off the top. I think it's actually supposed to go like this, because I think I calculated how much I had left here. Wait a minute, why do we have, how did that get in there?
Nothing. I didn't do it.
Maybe. I think that's how it's supposed to go. Okay.
Awesome. Sue and Barbara said they're both going to join a private group. They like how you teach and love the designs.
Aw, thanks.
Robin said, well worth the $17 a month. Thank you, Robin.
Yeah, if you think about it, it's like, how does that divide into 4? Little more than, is it $4.25 a week?
Yeah.
I think is what it is.
Yeah.
$4.25 a week. I was like,
Linda said you really get a lot for your money in the private group.
Thanks, Linda.
Hi, Cheryl. She said hello from Niagara Falls, New York. She's a newbie, so welcome.
Thanks. Okay, so doing my bow, I'm going to use a bow Dabra. So I'm going to start with my 2.5-inch ribbon at the bottom. We're going to go in 10 inches. And then we're going to twist right here. I'll go ahead and load that. We're going to go 5.5-inch loop. So always twist, then I bring it back to the 10, and then just measure. So easy to see, 5.5 inches. And then do the same on the opposite side. I wanted this one to have a lot more of that seafoam green color. Okay, there we are, back to 5.5 inches, and then back out to 10.
Cheryl said, where's a good place to get wired ribbon and deco mesh?
Craft Outlet.
And the Wreath Shop are probably the 2 best places to look for it.
I always go with the Craft Outlet first because they have a lower minimum to meet to qualify for free shipping. It's only $69, and the Wreath Shops is $89. But if you're looking for something specific and you can't find it, generally because they order from the same supplier, those are like, if you can't find it on Craft Outlet, look at the Wreath Shop. If the Wreath Shop doesn't have it, try Trendy Tree or Deco Exchange. a lot of times they have it. So this next one's going to be 9.5 inches. And this one we can't dovetail because it's a woven ribbon. So if you dovetail it, it will just start to unravel.
But it's a very cool ribbon.
It's a very cool ribbon. It's your favorite ribbon. So this one we want 5-inch loops. And I usually try to tie in the ribbon that I use around the outside. I try to incorporate it back into the bow. Okay, over at 5.
Well, thank you, Barbara. I've been with Kat for about 2 years. I always learn something new from her. She's always helpful.
I learn a lot from the people even in our group. Because you guys will pull out designs that I was like, wow, I never thought of that.
Or they'll say, did you know that this place carries this or this place has that? So
yeah, there's a really good community vibe in our group in that, like right now with the Dollar Tree wreath frames being hard to find, you have a network of people that are spread out all the way across the United States. So if you need something, and let's say for example your craft outlet locally doesn't have it, you can come to the group and post a picture and say, hey, I'm looking for this sign, I can't find it, does anyone happen to have one? And you'd be surprised at how quickly those needs get met. So this one is going to be 9 inches. This is actually a double wired bow. Not only does it have a bow ribbon, not only does it have wire to the outside, it also has wires on the inside where it's got that stitching. Yeah. So when you go to cut this one, you really can only cut one side at a time.
That's like the only ribbon I know that has that.
Oh, there's a couple. Yeah, there's a couple that do.
Thanks, Jenny. She said the same thing. Group is well worth it. And the Wreath of the Month, can't wait to see them.
Oh, I know. I love the Wreath of the Month group. Because that's an opportunity for us to get to work with a supplier direct to come up with exclusive kits. But that's not part of the private group. Right. It's something totally different. If you're a beginner and you just want to focus on like one design for the whole month, you don't want to go shop for your supplies, you can join that group. And then you get the opportunity to either purchase a kit that's all put together, has everything you need in the box. All you're going to have to do is cut your material lengths, and it arrives right to your front door.
Kathy, yes. She said, can we still order the Wreath of the Month kit? Greenerson. Didn't Linda extend it, the date?
Yeah. So Linda has extended the date to order. Originally, it was cut off today at midnight, and she's extending it to the 14th. So that's going to probably work out for us because the last Saturday of the month will be Memorial Day weekend. So we'll probably push that out into like whatever the first Saturday is in June. So that will give everyone more time. Okay. So this one?
The first Saturday in June would be June the 5th.
Yeah, so it'll probably go June the 5th. And you know, sometimes we just have to work with our suppliers. Because just because they tell us we should have it in time doesn't necessarily mean it will arrive that time frame.
Yeah, because they're scrambling to try to find quantities of, numerous quantities, and they've got to find all over the place. So.
Yeah. So this ribbon length, like I said, was 8.5 inches for the tail, and then this is 4.5 inch loop. Was this one the one that I think? Ooh, we'll see. We'll see if that goes. I think it will. I think this is the one. I was like, I think we'll have just enough. So, yep. Pull this off. Twist. Dovetail.
Alright, so that's a pretty ribbon.
The Hobby Lobby Christmas ribbon.
Yeah.
It's really pretty. Let me pull just a touch and make some slight adjustments. There we go. All right. So we've got that one, and then that's down the drain. So how quickly that went, which is good. right? So now I'm using this 1.5 inch. It's a beige and white, or beige with white polka dots. This came from Sam's this year, spring. This will be 8-inch tail length and 4-inch loop length. Let's see if we can get 4 inches. And 4 inches. Let's bring this back. There's 4. And then back out to 8. So dovetail, right? That means taking your wired edges and bring them together. And then you're going to cut from the folded side down to your point. So how high up on the fold line will determine how deep your V is, but it gives you a really finished, really nice look to your ribbon. I have to shorten these ones. These are really long pins. Okay, Swiss stop. We're not using you.
Barbara and Bud said, I just received the bow dabber and it's easier to watch you use it than to try to read the directions. LOL.
Oh yeah.
I've been looking for the cutting board with no luck at all.
Make the cutting board.
Yeah.
So just go to Home Depot or Lowe's. In their hardware section, they have the wood already pre-cut. So get a 24 by 24 by 1 inch thick piece of wood. Go get an inch to an 1.5 inch C-hook. Screw that right into the center of that wood form. Yeah. Take a light sand to it just to sand it down. You're good to go.
Sand down the sides so it doesn't splinter.
Yep. So this one's going to be 7.5 inches to finish this. 3.5 inch loop. And I think this one's going to finish this ribbon too. Because I'm trying to use up my little, I have all these just enough for like the top layer of a bow type ribbon. Because I don't like to throw it away. And that's where this one's going to be too. Because I pre-measured this one. I was like, oh, we'll have enough. And then I can get rid of that in my ribbon wall. So I'm not storing ribbon that, you know, you pick it up and you look at it and you're like, oh, well, darn, it's not enough for me to do tails all the way around the outside. This is only enough for me to do, trying to find my mark, maybe the top layer of a ribbon. So in that case, this ribbon is perfect. Even if I didn't incorporate it around the outside of the ribbon, I can still stick it in the bow. And then it's used up. We can throw that one away.
Looks like Aline Girardi said, how do we order the next monthly kit? I did join.
Okay, so you have to go to the Wreath of the Month group page, which has its own Facebook page. And at the very top, under announcements, there will always be a handful of things. So right now, there is the replay of last month's wreath, because there are some people still putting that wreath together. But there's also the link to order May's kit. Now, May's kit is a navy blue and tan beach welcome wreath. So that is in there. So you just click on, once you see the picture of all the items in the kit, click on the actual post and it'll have a link in there to order the kit. So I'm going to go ahead and pick this up. So I say, this is my club sandwich with the extra slice of bread in the middle. So we're going to go ahead and twist this. Always easier to twist hold the pipe cleaner, move the ribbon stack. And then that's all done. And now I need my fluff board. So mine's an 18 by 24 inch. I'm having one made that's going to be a perfect square. So it'll be 18 by, or 24 by 24 by an inch. No, 3/4 inch. So that will be coming. I just like having a lot of space to work. So all we're gonna do is just thread our pipe cleaner through the C-hook, and that'll kind of keep it from moving off the board. And then all we're doing is separating. So you're gonna take tail and a loop. Go to the other side, find the exact same color. We're gonna go tail and loop. I'm gonna open those up.
Yep, Simone. Don't worry about it. They're working on it. She said when I went to order the make kit, I got a sold out message.
Yeah, that was yesterday.
Yep.
So I think it's been corrected now.
So try to go back in and reorder it because Linda was working on getting more stock, and
I think it's been remedied. Yeah. So go click on the link. You should be able to order them now. Yeah, as of last night, it was sold out. And that's just because quantities available that were received at the time we sold out of those, so we had to wait for more to come in. So people panicked and thought they're not going to get their supplies, and I was like, no. Have faith, give grace, it's coming. I just can't remedy the problem overnight, you know, especially, what was it, Thursday night?
Don't panic.
Yeah, don't panic, it's coming. Okay, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to pull our loops out. So all I'm doing is just separating loops and tails so that they should go directly across from each other. They should kind of form an every other one type of look. And now we're going for this. So loop and tail, back to the other side, tail and loop. Grab the next one down, loop and tail. Oops. Here's my loop, here's my tail. And then we're back up to the top. And here.
Yep, sharing signage from Craft Outlet.
So now what we're doing is now you begin the fluffing. Now you look at where do you want certain ribbons, loops, tails to lie. How do you want your loops to wind up? And I usually focus on one side and then I go to the other side and work the other side.
Yes, you certainly could. If you have a cutting board like we do, like Kat's using, if you want to put a C-hook in the middle of it, you could absolutely do the same thing. We just did the same thing. We cleaned the cutting board off, sanded it down, and then put the C-hook on it.
Yep, now it never sees food.
Yep, we just leave the C-hook in. We slide it between the wall and our fridge.
Yep. Okay, so everything's open. Okay. Actually, this one's over here. All the way over. Okay, I gotta open my last one. It's all the way at the bottom. Just to give you that 3D look. So, when you look at it from the top, this is what you get. Okay, then we're going to remove this from the board. So we just slide it off our C-hook. Okay, bring our wreath back over. And usually what I do is where the bow will go will be on one of the interior that I removed. So I'm going to look at where I have all these. I kind of like where this is falling. So I'm going to grab my pipe cleaners. I'm going to go ahead and feed those down through my frame. Don't want to pull too hard, because if you pull too hard, you'll compress everything you just worked so hard to fluff. Okay, then go ahead and readjust your ribbons, because now they're in their permanent home. Okay.
Sweet, it's pretty enough. You don't even need a sign it.
Yeah, you don't. Some you don't need anything. Separate those two. Bring this one over. Bring this over. Actually, let's do this and this. I like to separate them. Okay, now we need to attach our sign to our pipe cleaner, so we're going to do that with a staple gun.
Oh, thank you, Kathy.
What's that?
Kathy Richardson said, I just ordered the Make Kit. It is working.
Oh, awesome. Good. Okay, so I'm taking my pipe cleaners. Because this is a 1/4 inch thick or more, I can go ahead and add these to my sign. It's so much better than doing the adhesive squares, because then you have to get in with glue because they have a tendency of popping off. So
Sue said I can almost feel the sea mist looking at that reef.
isn't that pretty? I hear the seagulls, believe it or not. Give it a couple twists so it doesn't slide out. And then we are going to attach this to our wreath to kind of lift my ribbons up. And this is going to go right to my frame. So I got to work it through the mesh. Okay, here's one. To the other side.
Oh, okay. Aline, if you just joined right now, Kat, as soon as she's available, she'll
go in and approve you.
She'll go in and approve you, and then you'll be able to order it.
You'll be fine. Like, don't panic that they'll run out before you join. We have contingency plans in place for stuff like that. We always plan for what happens if somebody goes to click on it, their credit card's declined or whatever, but they still want the kit. They just have to get in and readjust that. We contingencies. So.
Hi, Donna. She said, normally, but I'll watch the replay. My house is in a beach theme this summer.
Oh,
also
nice.
been recommending Kat to a lot of newbies to make wreaths this year. Oh, thank you, Donetta.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. And then Robin asked, what makes you decide to use pipe cleaners on the sign or floral wire?
Okay, if it's MDF or wood, it goes staple gun. If it is a aluminum sign that we get from one of our vendors, it's always metal hole punch and then add floral wire. I'm just looking for something that's going to last and that look nice. So I find that if I use floral wire, it goes through this jute mesh a lot nicer. It's easier for me to find it. You know, sometimes the pipe cleaner gets hung up on just one little thread. Okay.
Arlene asked, how much is the Wreath of the Month Club?
It is $10 a month to join. And then, like I said, you have the option of purchasing the kit. You can always purchase the sign, which remains an exclusive to the group, which means nobody can buy that sign anywhere. We have them custom designed for the group. That way it gives you some favorability if you want to sell in Etsy or on your website, that you don't have a ton of people who can go get that sign from the Wreath shop.
And then the monthly cost of the kits vary depending upon.
Yeah, this month we just added, it's 2 rolls of mesh, the frame, pipe cleaners, sign, and then we opted to go 4 rolls of ribbon. We had been doing 3, but the group really wanted more ribbon, and I think the kit price remained the same, which was $60 with shipping included, which is a really good deal.
Yeah.
Considering when you see the kind of ribbon that's coming in there, you're like, wow, that's a good deal.
Barbara said this is my favorite one. I so need an ocean.
Aww.
And Jolene says she's never seen the ocean. You have to go visit either the West Coast or the East Coast.
Yeah. And that's amazing too, to believe that there are still people who have never seen, the ocean, and what a joy that must be. Here's another thing we take for granted, right? Those of us who see the ocean all the time, we take for granted the fact that we can just, take a drive and go see it, and other people can't. So you have to deal with like lakes?
So Arlene asked how much is the wreath, Bob? You said it's $10 a month plus the cost of the kit.
If you choose to buy it. There's some people who say, I have all that mesh, or I want to use this ribbon. Can I still just get the sign? Yes, you can just get the sign.
Arlene asked who is the vendor. Are you okay with giving away who the vendor is?
No, I'm going to say it needs to stay in our Wreath of the Month group.
Yep. So once you join, you'll know who the vendor is. And
yep.
They are great to work with.
Yeah. It's just something we negotiated. Because my group has always been saying, we want wreath kits. And I'm like, I don't want to get into, you have to ship it all here. I have to, sort it all out, put it in boxes, ship it all back out. God, it'd be great if I could just get somebody I can order everything through and they ship it all out. So yeah, we've been able to do that. So it's kind of nice. And then we work to keep the cost down for you guys. So, and then more than likely, the materials you get in the kit will definitely give you enough to do 2, not including the sign. Or maybe more, it just depends on what method you choose to use. Okay, we're ready to embellish. So here is our design so far. Can you see it?
Yep, I just zoomed in a little bit. So,
okay.
Yep, go ahead.
All right. So now we're going to take that spiny starfish that's on the sign, and we're going to pair that with our spiny starfish. So when we get down to the bottom of the box, because that's where they all are. There's some big ones and some super small ones. So let's look at size. I think those ones are pretty much perfect. So we're going to go ahead and attach these to those locations where I was telling you we're going to add one here. Let's spin this around. We'll add another one here. This just helps me to know where they all need to go. One down in here, and I'm going to end up sticking another one on the other side as well. Because there's 4. So this one will go in here. And then we'll go ahead and get those glued in. And then have these things back in here.
So would you ever consider making a watermelon wreath? We have a watermelon wreath, so.
Yeah, we have.
Done before, yeah. We've
done watermelon before. It's weird how some will sell and some will sit. I think I had my watermelon wreath sit for quite a while before it finally sold. Yeah. And it only sold after I redid the entire design. So you just never know what people are looking for. So that's why I always tell people, don't remove any of your listings from your shop, even if it's out of season. Because I was selling Halloween wreaths in January. Mm-hmm. And you just never know.
And that's why the starfish are so expensive, because they're so hard to find and so hard to keep.
Well,
so look on Amazon.
Yeah, I get mine off of Amazon. Just because I've looked at Hobby Lobby before, but generally what I find is they're all broken. And so I'm kind of looking for something that will ship in bubble wrap in a box. And so that's kind of what I have going on here.
Do you have this one posted yet on Etsy or on?
It's on my Etsy shop.
Etsy shop, okay.
Yeah, it was just faster for me to list it on Etsy. Normally I always go website first, but this one's on my Etsy shop. Yeah.
How about a teacher wreath? Yeah, we made.
There's a teacher wreath there too.
There's a teacher wreath there too.
Yeah, we've done the bookworm wreath. We've done teacher appreciation.
Nurse and medical worker appreciation.
Nurse, healthcare, doctor, firefighter, police, every branch of the military. Tons of beach wreaths. Every season you can think of. We've done Purple Heart. We've done Silver Star.
Military wreaths, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah.
Pretty much just about everything you can think of. And if you don't find it in my channel on YouTube, then it was probably done in our private group. Okay. I just want to make sure we feed everything in here. So I use Gorilla Glue on everything. If you set it to high, you generally will get the type of glue asphyxiation that you're looking for, that it won't pop off. Because it takes longer to dry, it forms a tighter bond, almost like Gorilla Glue normal would be. So let's add some starfish. Not starfish, seashells. So we've got to find something nice and pretty. Okay, I did this on my last beach wreath, so what I'm going to do is probably do it on this one as well. Because these spiny stars have a little crown at the top, it makes for a perfect addition. Or you'll see, you can just add these little pearls to the little crown area. So let me go ahead and pop these on. So just a little bit of glue. And we'll add the, let me spin this around so you can see it. They're like the perfect holders.
Yeah.
And I do them when I'm doing when I add the cream color. So just a little touch of, because you get pearls from the ocean as well. So it's just a nice little simple touch. Okay, there's that one. This one's got a really big open area, but we'll see if we can center it right in the middle. Okay, seashells. I try to look for stuff that has a little bit of variety in it. So, let's see. Always looking. This one has like a little bit of a sea green to it. Or, I know which ones I'm looking for. Let's see if that'll work. Might be a little too small. It's just a touch too small. This one's pretty.
You said the pearl is the perfect touch.
Isn't it? It's just like the perfect touch. There we go. Okay. So I found this, I guess you'd call it like a little cone.
Yeah.
So we're going to go ahead and make sure that stays in the center.
Carol, yes, we've never had any issues with Gorilla Glue at all. It holds up really well in the heat and in the cold.
So always put it on high. I know it leans to a tendency, like if we touch it, we're probably going to get burned pretty good. But that's what I've read. If you follow the directions for Gorilla Glue, it says that if you glue it using the high temperatures, takes longer to dry, but it's better for the all temperature changes. So if you have that fluctuation between, you know, hot summer day and super freezing cold, you should be okay with all those. Let's go ahead and add this little guy to our sign. Because we have the spiny stars that are added. So I am just going to make sure that I have enough glue on there. Just got to give them a moment to set up.
Ooh, see, Donna Hill just gave us a tip. Thank you.
What's that?
She said there's a website called Shell Horizons, which has amazing selection of shells.
Ooh.
I've ordered from them and nothing has ever broken.
Okay.
So
what are the prices like
Horizons.
Though? Is it like really on the high side? Because you know, with us, we're all about our costs and keeping our costs affordable. What are you seeing as far as the way of costs go? So let me pick this up, push this back in, and take this one down. So right here.
Deborah Hopkins, if you want to watch the replay and go back to the beginning, Kat shows you where she got all the ribbon from. The Craft Outlet, the Wreath Shop, or Joann's,
Hobby Lobby,
even Sam's. So yeah.
Okay, let's make sure my little shell is on. Okay. Go ahead. Get this all situated.
Donna said the prices are reasonable.
Are they? Okay, yeah. I will check them out.
Thank you, Donna.
What's the name of it again?
Shell Horizons, I believe.
Shell?
Yeah, I'll write it down once I go back.
We will go check it out and see.
Shell Horizons, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I know. There used to be a couple places that a lot of people order from, but then they stopped selling their seashells. Or if they did, they were really super expensive. Okay.
See, and like Kat said earlier, our viewers teach us.
Right?
They give us tips.
Exactly. It's all about sharing. We always say it's all about community and never competition. So that's kind of where so here's the nice thing about this ribbon is it stretches. So you can add some nice little fans to the bottom.
Yeah.
These are why you don't cut them too, because they kind of form that nice little fan shape. So.
Yeah, see, now when you see the sign, it really blends in well with the colors. It doesn't look like it's blue. It looks like it's a little more green.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And remember, the blues and greens, you've got that tertiary, which is in between the green and blue. That's where we get, like, back in the day when we only had 64 colors of Crayola crayons, you have the blue-green and the green-blue. So one had more blue, one had more green. So as long as you stay within those color palettes, you're okay. So you can kind of go up or down. And that's also why it makes it so difficult to match your mesh exactly to the sign. It's going to be really super hard because Deco mesh manufacturers very limited on the colors you can get.
Yeah. So
you either have to go like cream or white, or you can find one of those colors and then play within the lighter and darker shades. Yep. Okay, what questions do you guys have that I can answer for you?
So thank you so much. This is absolutely gorgeous. You have excellent taste.
Thanks.
Donna said absolutely stunning.
Thank you very much.
I love it. Very creative.
Yeah, this is my only one. This is my last beach house sign. So unless they're available, that's the last one.
Linda said thanks for the live. Wreath is gorgeous. Have a relaxing Mother's Day.
All of you too.
Yep.
on the Mother's Day. Make
Barbara
sure.
said instead of buying seashells, I think I need a trip to the ocean.
There you go. And if you can get to the beach, a lot of your beach shops have your seashells or your starfish much more affordable than like trying to buy them from, your Amazon places. Have a stand. So, glitter.
I have Gail. Gail said, oh my gosh, I'm so late.
You're okay. We're out of here anyway. So you all have a great weekend. Have a happy Mother's Day. And I will talk to my private group on Monday. Everyone else, I'll see you next Friday at 5. Have a great weekend, everyone. Good night.